Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of We Talk Talent series organized by ETHR World. Today, we have with us Subhash Menon, Chief Human Resource Officer at Angel One. With almost 2 decades of experience in making workplaces better, Subhash has been leading Angel One to the future. What makes Subhash more than just a leader, but an empowerer in the form of a leader, is the fact that his decision making compass is driven by the polar strengths of empathy and technology. Leading by example, Subhash has shown the industry that great organizations don't need mortar brick structures, but rather purpose to drive mission success. We welcome you, Subhash, in this interview today, and thank you for your time. Glad to have you.
Thank you, Apeksha. Most welcome.
Uh, So, Subhash, to begin with, I would like to ask you a very pertinent question in today's time that how has your hiring strategy changed concerning sourcing, selection, and pipeline management post the pandemic?
Yeah, it's a great question, Apeksha. So you have to understand, so during the COVID as well as the post-COVID era, the entire sourcing strategy has been overhauled. Okay, there has been a massive shift in the direction of the recruitment, which is like happened primarily the way of the business has scaled up, right? The business goals have evolved. So today in the market, when you look at the kind of hiring that Angel One is doing, it is far different from what traditional broking or a fintech organizations are up to. We're looking at top tech talents in India right now, the best of the minds, like mind that create magic, the coding, like the data skills, science skills. So that is what we are looking out for at this point of time. So, as I said, as like we're looking out for people for a tech talent where we are talking about people who come with a purpose, right? So, if you look at all those tech talent which is coming up, are looking out for some purpose. They want something to solve. They want something, some specific thing to solve in the company. So that's what we are giving them. So as a goal of the company is to help this millions of the people who are there with various digital tools and investments on the finance side of it, right? Like if you look at India also, it has gained almost 12.3 million demat account has been opened. So that's what we are trying to give it to the techies who are coming in. So that's what it has changed. The major shift, if you look at is what we have done is during the COVID time is like breaking the office, right? So we have our EVP, one of the EVP, which we talk about break the office. So what does that doesn't mean breaking the office, going and breaking the office. We are saying you can work from anywhere. It's like it's a remote workplace totally. So people are across as a company. Uh, we have said it across saying that okay during the pandemic well before almost when the in the month of March 2020 or April 2020 we announced as a company we are going to work from anywhere. So that's what it helped to hire those tech talent. So just to answer your question further, at this point our hiring strategy can easily be related to like something of an upcoming startup company. We have a very flat hierarchical organization, which simply means that no layers across the management. Like we are onboarding talented individuals and we provide digital and a physical space, right? We are not just digitally like in Zoom and this thing, we are providing a physical space to collaborate, like to people to can come together and unfold the magic, right? We have created like a small collaboration space like Mumbai. We already had a space in Mumbai, so we have created a collaboration space in Bangalore, which is like major city where the India's pipeline of the techies are coming. Okay. So this kind of flexibility allows us to get most exciting talent without any geographical limitation, right? Like our CEO, Mr. Narayan, who has just joined from he has joined from US, right? He's the very new member, one of the new members which has come, and some of my team member is working out of India, right? So that has opened up the entire avenue. So yeah, so that's what is. It's like it's a flexibility which has provided. Like we are providing flexibility to the employees to work from anywhere, and it's like one of those days where you can ask a question saying, "Are you shifting your city?" So one of those days. So So that's what I can say. So it's like more of a strategy of hiring people for a purpose, and it's like sourcing and selection from anywhere across the globe.
Thank you for that, Subhash. So while we are discussing hiring practices and the way you are doing it in your organization, we would also like to know what kind of skills do you look for while hiring across functions. So their technical skills, soft skills, behavioral skills. So are there any preferences among these skills, or you're looking for a combination of these skills?
If I give a one-line answer, the answer is yes. Like it's all the skills which is required. Like for an organization like Angel One, like agility and the seamless customer experience is the prime importance, right? So we do not have a luxury of sitting on a version of a product for months, right? We have to drop the features like once in a year. It cannot happen, right? In the last year itself, we have launched multiple features to the customers, right? So the technical skill is the foundation, right? Technical skill is the must. Like for the new age skills like data science, the coding language, the Golang, the very various languages which are there, which is the must. Like so people are writing their own research papers, like the books, the articles, sharing technical knowledge. So that's is required. So knowing things and seeing them through the end is the primary importance, the primary thing. We cannot say that okay, you cannot have a soft skill, because that is also is the important thing. So at Angel One, we don't treat people like employees, right? And it's like we actually make the system like it's like we give employees a purpose to work, right? So soft skill becomes a very very important thing, and everyone in the organization is assigned with the objective, the clear objectives. Like we follow an OKR method, like clear objective and the key results are given to the employees. So with this mind, tell me who needs a bigger leader. So it's not me, it's my teammate, right? Because if we all carry equal importance, the bigger goal can be achieved. So the leadership skill, the soft skill go hand in hand. So according to me, it's technical skill is the foundation, it is required, but at the same time, the soft skill, the behavioral skill is as important.
Course. So Subhash, while hiring is one part of it, what we have gathered from our discussions with industry leaders is that training engagement is another big area where the focus lies for most of the organizations. So what is your employee engagement strategy and how that has changed, especially after the pandemic?
Employee engagement is often a misguided goal, like as per my personal experience. So employee engagement, when employee engagement comes, it always people look at fun at work, right? So that's the word everybody would have heard. So for me, you cannot have fun at work. The work should be fun, right? That's the motive. Like it cannot be, you cannot have going to work and have fun, right? You can't go to the work to have fun. Your work should be fun. That's the motive. That's what people miss. So we usually uh, do various activities. The organizing activities is definitely which is there, but at the same time for us is the job should be engaged, the work should be engaged. The key factor for us is the work should be engaged. So now, especially now, as I said, we have almost 100% of my employees are working remotely, right? It becomes difficult to make that employee engaged. So what we have done is to make his work engaged, right? We have ensured that the clear objectives are given to that person, the clear KRs are defined to that person, right? Apart from the activities which happens, that's the that's a given thing, right? You can do various HR initiatives on yoga session or whatever you can say, right? So everybody does it, but that doesn't mean that employees engaged. So what we have done is we have ensured that the clear objectives are given and the clear KRs are given, and we ensure that the productivities are measured. So that the employees are very clear on the expectation. So the goal of Angel One in terms of employee engagement is to make the work meaningful, right? and create a sense of purpose among the employee and make people feel recognized for the efforts which they're doing, right? So that is what we, so if you break down the simple activity, the fun activity, it involves like participation, competition, recognition, all those things. So that's exactly we do with the work. We encourage people to participate in the work by discouraging them to follow any schedule or shift timing or anything. That the way the people start working when they feel they're ready. So there's no that clock in, clock out. Usually people have started, many companies have started what time you're in the morning, you're to clock in. So we don't have those things. So you choose your time, right? You choose, you decide. So that's what keep the person engaged. So for me, that's, so it's the next level. So we lot of opportunities within the angels. Like we provide lots of opportunity, like fun ideas, right? So we have people can come and give ideas, suggestions, celebrate, reward people for those ideas. Right? We have healthy competition within the company, whether teammates, each teammate can compete and can even become a cheerleader for various initiatives. So then, so that's what we are doing. Like then the final aspect of the engagement is recognition, right? So now apart from the tried and tested R&R framework, the other way of recognition is showing them trust, right? We trust you. That's the key motive for an engagement. So as a, that's the key thing that we do. So we believe that if you even log off on a day, it doesn't matter. Like your work matters. So we have clearly given the objective is end of the day, we don't track employees. Okay, are they coming or they're not coming? Like there are some quote I would like to talk about the Gartner report. The 16% of them of employers are using technology, right, more frequently to monitor their employees through methods and virtual clocking in, clocking out. I think tracking the computer usage. I think that was like a Gartner report which talked about 16% of the companies are doing it. So we don't stand for that. For us, the engaged workplace is one that respects you and owns when to disengage.
Thank you, Subhash. Those were some great insights and great practices shared. I am hoping that a lot of people who will be listening to this would get a lot of good examples from here about engagement and hiring strategies that you're following. So to conclude, a very futuristic question: how do you see jobs evolving in your sector?
So that's a great question. So jobs keep on evolving, right? So if it doesn't evolve, that means there is something wrong. So the world is slowly, gradually moving towards the gig economy, right? It's like I when I talk about it, always remind me to a Sholay movie, right? The famous Sholay movie. There is a dialogue between Thakur and Viru and Jay. They say they when they he comes and receives Jay and Viru from the jail, they talk about the money. Like they ask, आप brave हो, आप खुद को आप शातिर समझते हो तो काम काम जो तुम बोले, दाम जो हम बोले, right? So they have that dialogue, right? So आप बहादुर बहादुर हो तो आप काम से क्यों डरते हो, काम जो तुम बोले, काम जो हम बोले, दाम जो तुम बोले, something of that dialogue which is there. That's what is happening. That's what exactly is happening, right? People are looking at that like it's a job, it's a purpose. This is what is a job which has to be done, okay? And whatever people are ready to pay, people are ready. This is what it is. So that's what is the gig economy, and they're done. Like they might come in, and if you're talking about the guy to stay back for 3 years or 2 years, no. If the purpose is achieved, that's it. They might go, and so that's what is happening. So the jobs will evolve from being output oriented to an outcome oriented, right? It is, that's what is happening. To understand it better, think of how we traditionally hired people. It was always a job, right? Needed to be get done. There was like a fixed path and a set processes that was to be followed and repeated again and again. But much of which got crucified by your RPA, right? Robo process automation, right? Robo process automation. Now, in the future, the jobs are going to be more purpose driven, right? And outcome driven, outcome oriented, I'll say. So we are not looking for a coder who knows certain language. So we are looking for entrepreneur. Okay, I'll put an intrapreneur person who can use those technical skill and create revolutionary features and products. So that's what is the job which will happen. On the same line, if you look at there could be traditional job description that you will see floating around for long. Instead, like the job descriptions are evolving into more of problem statement. Like so, people look at what is the problem I'm going to solve. So if the JD is of your typical JD, people will not join. It has to be with a proper purpose, proper problem statement. What is that I'm going to solve? So we post problem statement, the problem we are trying to solve, and look for people who can solve those problems. Okay. So nature of job description is evolving consistently, and to support the future, that is the gig economy. That's what is like Uber economy or whatever you can say, right? So that's what is happening around, right, for everything. So that's where the jobs are also going to happen. So where you will like onboard people to solve certain problem. So yeah, so that's the job which will get evolved in the sector. Yeah.
Thank you, Subhash. That was indeed an engaging session. And we are glad to have you today with us. And on a very optimistic note that the job market will evolve and progress, we would like to conclude this session. Thank you for joining us today on behalf of the entire ETHR World team. I thank you for giving your time to us for this interaction. Thank you.
Thanks, Atiksha. It was pleasure interacting with you. Thank you.